very excited. I finally joined TikTok. Yeah, yes, because as a middle-aged mom, it's important to ruin it. Let's get this party stopped! The government's spending all this time and energy trying to pass laws to shut down TikTok. I'm like, just send in the ladies with the Kohl's cash, okay? We'll run everybody out of there in no time. Yeah, especially the under 30s, right? The people under 30, because they hate moms on social media. Oh my God. But they love everyone else. They love the influencer, Addison, Madison, Radisson, Thomas Edison, like on there trying to teach you how to look hot. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be told how to be more fuckable by a 9-year-old.
Hello. That was comedian Anne Stesney, who you just heard, and she is our guest today on the Funny Women of a Certain Age podcast. I'm your host, Shelly Colman. Hello, Anne.
Hi, Shelly. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Anne and I met at the club in Midtown Manhattan called Comedy Village, which is the site of the New York residency of the Funny Women of a Certain Age shows. And Anne was on the bill, and I decided to sneak in and see if I could get a spot. And I did. Look at me. Anyway, so as soon as I saw you, Anne, I went, yeah, we got to get her on the podcast.
Thank you.
You have a different take on things, and I mean, that's what all good comics do. We all have our own individual perspective. So let's get right into it. When did you start doing comedy?
I started doing comedy about 6 years ago in my early 50s. I'd always been involved in the comedy world in New York City through improv. I had taken improv classes in the early 2000s through the UCB, through all the improv theaters in the city, just about. Like, I took classes at UCB, I took classes at the Pit, I took classes at a little theater called the Magnet Theater, and just, bounced around doing that. I really loved doing improv because you were kind of protected by other people doing it with you. There's usually five. And I felt very ensconced. And so I love doing that. And, then I got married and I had a baby, and it's really hard to do improv with a baby just because you practice really late at night usually, and you have to organize schedules of like 7 people, and
Right.
so I fell off of that and didn't do much of anything for a while. And then my husband took a stand-up comedy class, and it looked really fun. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll try it. And so I took a class at the Pit, and I just kind of got the bug, like everyone else. And that was like 2019. The pandemic happened. During the pandemic, I said, okay, I'm done. And I found this is very common with almost all comics now. It's like you start doing the open mics and you bomb all the time. And and they're horrible, and no one's listening to you.
Right.
And it's really, really bad. And I thought, it's too hard. I had a career. I had a family. I'm like, I don't think when the pandemic happened, I'm like, I'm done. But then, towards, I think it was the end of 2020 or early 2021, things hadn't quite opened up yet. But a friend of mine who I'd met at a mic said, hey, I'm doing this Zoom mic. Will you do it? Because I need more people on it. And I thought, I'll dust off some jokes. I'll do your Zoom mic. And I went on there, and that's where I met Carol Montgomery.
Ah, yes.
And she really liked my jokes. And she messaged me and said, when things open up, I want you to be on my show at the Crane Theater. It was at the Crane Theater at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm back. So Carol's
That's what it takes. It takes one person to say, yes, you're funny. And you go, yes, I am. I'm back.
Yeah,
Yay!
one person that you respect too. That you think he knows she's a career comic, right?
Well, look, honestly, Anne, there have been times when anybody saying to me, yes, you're funny, was enough. Just of another voice other than the ones in my head going, yeah, you're funny.
That's the mailman's like, that's funny. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's true. But yeah, so Carol really gave me that encouragement. And from that point on, 2021 was when I started kind of practicing for her show. And that's when I got just tough skin. That's when I learned not to care about how people react when I'm practicing my jokes. I learned how to just get up there and just do the reps. Yeah. And so I've been kind of trudging along ever since.
Now, it occurs to me that you may have missed a trick there. You could have started something like baby improv. I have a baby. I want to do improv. let me use the kids somehow.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been really fun. I did wish I had thought of it back then. Now
It's not too late.
well, he's 18 now, so
Oh,
he's out of the house. A little too late
all
now.
right. Okay, never mind.
But, he still features very prominently in my act, believe you me. Um,
Yes, I know.
so,
He just left for school, right?
he just left for college, yeah, yeah, we were actually okay, I'll be honest, we were kinda happy to get him out of the house because, he was kind of a dick. So, this summer
Charming.
so, yeah, so we were kinda counting down the days, but then once he was gone, we all of a sudden, it was like, "Is this the little boy I carry?" We got all
Oh boy.
nostalgic.
Empty nest, empty nest.
Yeah, you see, because we live in Brooklyn, there's a million families here, we'll see, like, we see
Yeah.
the little kids going to school or camp and be like, "Oh my god, he used to go to camp," and we do miss him, but we are happy that we were 3 adult-sized people in a nice size, but still Brooklyn apartment,
Yeah.
and it got
Yeah.
a little it's nice to have the extra space and
Just take me down a notch. He's a teenager, right? Like, I was hanging out with my friend Kelsey, and he was like, "Oh, you think you're so cool just because you have a friend who's a lesbian?" Rude, right? And it's not true at all, okay? I think I'm so cool because she's black.
And if you miss him too much, he can just come home for holidays and be a dick again.
yeah, exactly, exactly, and he's calling us and telling us what's going on, and he seems to be getting into the swing of things, so that's great,
Oh,
you know?
good.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's him out of the way.
Yeah.
Now you were not always a comic. I mean, you said you started in your 50s.
Mhm.
You were in advertising. Do I have that right?
You have that right. I
How
started
did you get into that?
I went to a school in Atlanta. It's now called the Miami Ad School, and you might know it, like, in New York, they have SVA or they'll have Pratt, but I went to, regular I went to college, University of Georgia,
Mhm.
graduated, tooled around, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I heard about this school in Atlanta called, the Portfolio Center, and it was kind of like a 2-year program where back then, the way it worked is, like, if you wanted to get a job as a creative person in advertising, you had to have a portfolio.
Right.
But in order to get a portfolio, you had to have a job in advertising, right?
Yes, that is very similar to pretty much everything else. You
Yeah.
got it. You can't do it without experience, and you can't get experience until you do it.
Yes. And so this school was developed in Atlanta called the Portfolio Center, and its whole purpose was to have real people from the ad world come in and teach us at night and have us put together basically spec ads, fake ads
Mhm.
for real brands and
Right.
get real guidance so we could make them look as authentic as possible and build up a portfolio that way
Right.
stuff. And
Okay.
and so, and they would even structure the school where if you wanted to be a copywriter, you'd have a partner who was an art director and they
And which one were you?
writer. So I'm a copywriter.
Ah.
And that school guy had a really great reputation. So agencies would actually recruit from there. So
Oh,
it
nice.
took me a while to find a job, but I eventually got a job up here in New York at an agency. It was small at the time. It's not anymore, called Deutsch. And then
Oh my goodness, Deutsch is not small.
not anymore, yeah, at the time, it was
Yeah.
tiny. From there, I just kinda I had a career, I just kinda went from agency to agency. Back with advertising, you really don't get promoted that often,
Yeah.
so you would promote yourself by getting a better job at another agency. So, if you look at
Yeah.
a creative's resume from especially from my time period, from, like, the '90s to the early 2000s, you'll see a lot of job changes every 3 years or so because it just
Yeah.
you know, you just want that's how you made more money. So and it was a
Yeah.
great career, I have to tell you. It was a lot of fun when it was fun. It was a lot of pressure. I mean, it's similar in that there are more people who wanna do it than there are jobs. So,
Sounds familiar again.
yeah, exactly. So, there's always a pressure. If you lose a client, you can lose your job. Everyone's been laid off,
Right.
and everybody on the creative end has been laid off. So, there was that aspect, and it is, believe it or not, more ageist than comedy.
You know
It
what? I do believe it because for a while, I worked for an ad agency. I think it was also in the early '90s.
Mhm.
I wasn't a copywriter. I wasn't doing anything creative. I was in the human resources department, so I was the one who got to help fire people.
Oh,
And
wow.
gosh, was that fun?
Yeah.
No, it was not
That's
actually. It was not. But so I'm with you. I know how quickly people would come and go, and the stress that particularly the creatives were under.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
The finance people were kind of like sitting there with their feet up going, yeah, we're good. We're here. We're just going to, all the money that you make, we're going to do stuff with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with the accounting
Anyway.
people. They never lost their jobs. It was always just the creatives that lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Interesting to me. That always happened that way. So, so that I did that for years and years. And then, about 3 years ago, 2023, end of 2023, 2 years ago, I got laid off from my my advertising job, and I'm kind of at the point now where I don't think there's a reentry point for me. Unfortunately, I've been kind of almost forced into early retirement, even though I can't really
Right.
retire. So,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. And yeah, so I'm kind of at a little, midlife crossroads, kind of what am I going to do next? But, I'm
Right.
loving doing comedy and, even though I've spent more doing it than I've made probably, but it's
Oh, yes. Another problem that we have in common. Yeah. Again, just this popped into my head. You might consider starting your own agency called,
did my
copywriters of a certain age.
did my dad take over your body? My dad is talking through you because that's what he's told me to do for since the minute he's like, open your own agency. There is an agency, believe it or not. It's called Boomagers.
Oh boy, yeah.
And it's some old head P&G account guy. So he had a lot of connections.
Right.
And they basically do a lot of the advertising for the boomer / Gen X category,
Right.
like adult diapers and
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm not kidding, adult diapers and then
Life insurance,
life insurance. They do a thing.
erectile dysfunction.
They menopause drugs.
Yep.
Something else that I guess the I don't know what they're called, but super pads for when you start having bladder incontinence, but you don't
Yep.
you don't pee yourself on purpose, but you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Yes.
All
Yes.
fun. All the fun stuff
And nursing homes and assisted living.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
They do all that stuff. So there is an agency that does that right now.
Okay, well then
I'm
that
pretty
niche is
expert
covered.
on-
Never mind, it was just a thought. And I'll tell your dad to back off.
Yeah.
He won't, but I'll tell him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I do miss working. I miss the health insurance. I miss the really good health insurance. Right now I have the cheap health insurance where you have to go to your primary care doctor for anything. Please, have a colonoscopy. Oh, could you spare a mammogram?
So you have a full-grown son and a full career
Mhm.
and a husband, and you have a whole life, and you decide, I don't think I want that. Not the husband, but okay.
Yeah.
And you decide to go into comedy. Have you regretted it yet?
Never. I have not regretted a single moment at all. Even though I've had many moments of anguish, many moments of what am I doing?
Yeah.
This is so stupid. I'm 57 years old. What do I think's gonna happen? Like
Yeah.
all of that stuff because it is so much work and it really is not always fun.
Right.
But I feel like it's keeping some part of me alive and
Oh,
thriving
good.
and vibrant in a way.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I started later means that a lot of my peers are a lot younger, which can
Oh,
be,
yeah.
I tell you, Shelly, I mean, I do not miss being in my 20s after hanging around these kids. I miss the skin and the ass. That's about it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
oh, and the metabolism.
Uh-huh.
But I don't miss just that anguish of being not, being at the face of your life. Like, what am I doing? Am I supposed to do? The reality of not having kind of a map is hitting you in your 20s because you've always had school, right? You've had
Right.
school and training
Right.
and this, and now it's kind of like you're in this world and you're just this amorphous blob. And I see them all going.
Hey, I resent that remark.
Hey, no.
I'm still an amorphous blob.
Well, I mean, we all are really, but the reality that we're used to being amorphous blobs. They're not.
Mhm. Mhm.
They're new, they're baby amorphous blobs. So,
True.
I see that, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm really glad." And then the thing too, that I have found I didn't realize I had more than these kids do is I don't give a shit. Like, the I don't give a shit that lovely gift you get,
Yeah.
as you age that you really are like, "Ugh, I don't give a shit. I don't really
Yeah.
care what you think about me. I don't really care." I
Yeah.
was talking to this other comic who was so offended because she did a show with this guy and they met doing the show together, and then she saw him in another show a month later, and he acted like he didn't know her. And
Right.
my theory is that he probably just didn't remember because men are stupid.
Y
But,
yeah.
and like, I don't understand why you'd be offended by that now. I
Yeah.
would have been offended if, like, 30 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
But now "Oh, he's just a stupid guy. Who cares?" Like, like, my
Well,
son
again,
did.
I have to interrupt you because I will probably not recognize you the next time I see you. It
Okay.
takes me like 12 to 15 times to see someone face to face, even though I am looking at your face right now and going, I know her. I'm
Yeah.
going to see you in the street and go, um, uh, so she needs to just relax. It's not about her.
Exactly. Some people have face blindness like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's really not about you, so that's why I that's the kind of thing where I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that this never bothers me." I assume no one's gonna remember me, and when they do, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wow, you remember? Okay, cool." You know?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
you.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and like you, I've met people and, as you get older, there's more people in your life. It's just hap
Exactly,
so
exactly. I've been meeting people for 60 some years, and I can't remember most of them. Even the
Yeah,
one like my best friend, I go, "Oh, yeah, I know you."
yeah,
My
exactly.
neighbors, I honestly, I remember you best if you have a dog.
Oh, that's true. That's
If I meet you with a dog, I'll see the dog, I'll recognize the dog, and then I'll look up the leash and go, "Oh, yeah, you're his owner."
yeah, from that's so
So
funny.
get a dog is what I'm saying to everybody.
Okay. Well, I might have to replace the son with the dog, who knows? Um,
Okay, you know what? I'm one of those people that walks around, I just pet every dog I see.
oh, I love dogs. I do. I do get to dog sit for my friend's dog, and I think that's enough for me. And he's a great
Okay.
dog. He's an Australian Shepherd, and he's like
Oh, wow.
so well trained. And
Yeah.
he's just such a sweetheart. Yeah. He doesn't eat anything off the street. He's like
Wow.
so well. Try to take him to the dog park. He runs around. I call him. He comes right to me. Yeah. So that's my dog nephew. I have a dog nephew. That's enough for me right now. Some people don't want to have kids, but they have like nieces and
Yeah.
nephews or their friend. Yeah, I get it now. I really get it. It's like
Yeah.
you get the benefits without any of the aggravation. So
Exactly,
yeah, it's great.
exactly. You get the snuggles and the cuddles, and then if he throws up, you can take him home.
Done. Yeah.
Unlike your son.
No, he's with me for life.
Yeah. So you've been doing a bunch of festivals. You've been traveling around a bit.
Yeah, I've
What's
been
the most recent one?
the most recent festival I did was Big Pine. I did Big Pine, which was a
And that's in Arizona.
that's in Arizona, Chandler, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix.
Hmm.
And that was an incredible I learned so much at that festival. Uh one thing I learned, I went in there and I saw other people who got into the festival and I got that imposter syndrome because
Right.
there were a lot of comics there who had like, you know, uh 50,000 followers and
Oh boy.
representation, and they've been doing it for 10 years. And here I am 5 years in, and, I really, learned that you don't go into those things with imposter syndrome. Do not, because there were.
Because so many people apply to those,
Yeah,
and you got in. So
yeah.
that already means that some of that imposter stuff you just got to slough off because obviously you got in.
Yeah, 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 you have to, and I learned how to kind of network better there, how to, like, put
Oh, good.
myself out there better, but I met somebody there was an industry meetup where they had people from, like, JFL, and they had people from, Don't Tell, and they had people from, they had agents and management and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
I opened up with some, like, really little old me comment, like, "Oh, you probably wouldn't be able to cast me in anything." Like, "Why would I do
Yeah.
that?" And she was like, "Don't ever open up like that." And I'm like, "Oh, man, she's so right. What was I
Yeah.
doing?" So I learned
Yeah.
a lot at that festival. And I met some really great people there too. And it really kind of opened my eyes. That was Big Pine. That was in April. At
Hmm.
the Athens Comedy Fest um, in a month later
Georgia?
in Georgia. I went to college at the University of Georgia in Athens. So
Oh, right.
so that
Yeah.
was kind of why I wanted to do it, just because I wanted to go to my old college town. It's a baby festival. It's first year. It's run by, do you know Karen Morgan, the
I
comedian?
know the name.
She's
I
like
know the name.
she's like a jet. She does a lot of I think she has a tour out now called um something and Dehydrated. It's just about being Gen X. It's really funny. And she's very big with Gen X stuff, like how we used to drink from the hose and you know, be sat outside for the whole day, and our moms would only call us to go out and get them cigarettes, like that sort of thing.
Oh, man.
And I also wanted to meet her because I really liked her comedy. And she has a dry bar special that went viral a couple of
Hmm.
years ago, and so that was really fun. And I don't have any more festivals going. I have my show. I'm producing a show.
Yes. It's called ADHD comedy. Is that right?
Yes, yeah,
So I have to ask, do you have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder?
hell yeah. I think all comics have that and autism on some level. Um, I'm
Or
convinced.
depression? Come on. Come
Yeah,
on. Give
well,
us
that part
depressed
is
people
working
our
in here
due.
with all of it, yeah. So I had my 2 comedy buddies, Zay Pirani and David Weissglass. We were all hosting open mics together, and we, wanted to do our own show, so we reached out to a bunch of venues, and one of them was the Pit Theater in Chelsea,
Hmm.
and they gave us 2 spaces, but they said, "You only have an hour." And usually a comedy
Right.
stand-up show is about an hour and a half. And we're like,
Yeah.
God, only an hour. That means we can only have this many people, blah, blah, blah." And then we were like, gosh, why don't we just use that as our marketing tool? Like,
Yeah.
because a lot of people think comedy shows are too long. You know what I mean?
Yes, many of them are.
Like many of them, I feel sorry for the audience by the time you're,
Absolutely.
yeah, like these poor people have to like listen to somebody else. And so that's why we named it that, because it's only an hour. You
Hmm.
don't have to buy drinks or anything because it's at the theater. I love I like I said, I did funny when I was a certain age at the Crane. I love a theater space for a
Hmm.
comedy like that. I think it's really fun to do one of those spaces. So we had our first show in August. We have our next shows coming up September 19th at the Pit Theater. We have some great
So it's a
lineup.
monthly show now?
It's a monthly show. I'm
Okay.
waiting to hear if we have next month, but I'm pretty sure we do because we did a good job of filling the theater. And
Oh, good. And it's not a big theater, is it? It's one of those like
no,
50 people or something like that?
I would say yeah, maybe 48, something like that. Like it's small, so it's easy
Right.
to fill. And the people who come are like you generally get people who seek comedy too, because
Yeah.
sometimes people end up
Yeah.
at a club because they get a flyer or it's just a night out, for them,
Right.
and like, "Oh, let's try this, it could be fun." But I feel like if somebody's going to see comedy at a specific space, it's because they like comedy and they wanna
Right.
see it.
Right.
So,
Or you owe them money.
yeah. Exactly, they're trying to find you, trying to hunt you
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, that sounds like a plot to a movie. Oh, is that Sister Act?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. I stole it. Dang it.
Yeah, so yeah, we wanted to do our own show because when you're at our level in New York City, you really don't get more than 5-minute guest spots.
Right.
Maybe you get 7 minutes here and there, and
Right.
we just wanted it to produce our own show so we could literally have more time um
Yeah.
to
Makes
develop
perfect
longer set.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned one thing I learned to go into Big Pine. I met a lot of comics from smaller markets, and they are all doing half hours because
Yeah.
they don't have much competition.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And they owe more people money.
And that's true.
I'm not going to let that go. I'm sorry. Um yeah, it's getting more time is one of the hardest things. Like you, I have found that not being in New York City, I mean, I live in Brooklyn too, but going elsewhere you're going to find a different audience, of course, than the jaded New York City comedy
Yeah.
audiences. But you're also going to see you're going to have an opportunity to do something longer. Like I did a show in Westchester County, and I think I did a 20-minute set.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
by the way, I have to tell you this. I want to punch myself in the head for this. I made a point of recording it so that I would have a nice long chunk.
Yeah.
And the light in this theater was so bright you cannot see my face.
No. Oh,
I'm totally washed out. Totally washed. So
oh,
there's this like marionette, this puppet standing there talking. You can hear a voice coming out, but you can't see my face. It's just the
what a
most
way.
frustrating thing.
Oh, that is so frustrating.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse. I
But
had this thing where I had a great set, but
yeah.
where the club filmed me, but where they had the camera, people were talking around it.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's fun.
Talking to
Yeah,
him the whole
that's
time. I'm like,
fun.
I can't. This is useless. I can't use this.
Right. Right. There was another one. I have the worst luck with recording myself. It was another situation where I was in a club. The club filmed it, but there was no sound.
Oh my god.
Yeah, great shot, so unfortunately, I wasn't doing the same set that I did in Westchester, otherwise I could put them
You're definitely
together.
yeah.
But no, it's just me, gesturing and making faces and wah, wah, but nothing. You can't hear a word.
Oh my god.
Fortunately, they did not charge me for that, which is
Oh, that's good.
good.
That's the
Yeah.
worst. The worst is when you pay for it and it's dog.
Garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you can't use it. Like,
absolutely.
oh my god. Yeah.
So how long are the sets on your show? Are you doing 15 each?
We're
You're doing 10
doing
each?
10
What?
right now because we only have an hour and then we want
Yes.
to have some other comics. Next month we're gonna have Joelle Johnson, who's amazing.
Oh,
Um
yeah.
so we wanna have some kind of we actually are investing some of a little bit of our own money to like pay the comics. Um
Mhm.
and our next step is to get into a venue where we actually can get a cut of the door because if it's not giving us anything
Yeah.
right now because we're like a trial show.
Right.
So that would be our next. Not that we'll make a ton of money doing that, but it would be just nice to have money to pay the comics and
Yes. Yes. And then ideally you can once you have this brand, I don't need to tell you, you were in advertising. You take the brand and you go around with it, and you
yeah,
move it. You
exactly,
take it to festivals. You take it to other cities. That's a very cool thing. It's a cool
exactly.
idea,
Very very excited.
and you don't have to have ADHD to be on the show.
You don't have to, but you usually do. So it works out. It really works out.
Okay, and then you can branch out into other mental conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Bipolar,
exactly,
depression.
schizoaffective disorder.
Yes,
Sure,
exactly. The sad show.
yeah. I think the bipolar show would be interesting because you'd have to curate it so that you'd find half the comics were on the upswing and half the comics were on the downswing.
Oh my god, that'd be so
Otherwise,
funny. Although the manic comics would blow the light, they would, and then you'd be there for, like, an hour because they won't shut up.
right, and then the depressives would be like, I'm not coming. I'm not doing it. I just,
They'll just, like,
I'm
leave
not.
the
No.
mic on the ground, like, you know? Yeah, wouldn't work. Wouldn't work.
So instead of stand-up show, it'd be a sit down or lie on the floor show. I just don't have the
A
energy.
curling
What's the
football
point?
show. Just like, oh, imagine just people in the throes of their depression, you just reel the bed out into the stage.
Oh my. Oh my. Honestly, I think that's what's going on in a lot of people's heads when they're doing their sets, but this
Oh, yeah.
time we'd get to see it.
Yeah, exactly. All live action. Live
Exactly.
action. Mhm. Totally.
So, are you from Georgia? I assume you're from Georgia.
Yes, I
You
grew up
have a little bit of an accent?
my family moved around a lot, when I was a kid. My dad worked for Coca-Cola. People are always like, "Were you
Oh,
military?" I'm like, "No, Coca-Cola." So
that's even worse.
yeah, yeah. We moved to Georgia, and then we moved to Japan for a few years, and
Wow.
then we moved back to Georgia. Yeah,
That's a flip, isn't it? I mean, the
such a
culture shock from
Shelly, you don't even know, like, because I went to an international school in Japan. I was there from, like, the, 3rd grade through 6th grade. And
Mhm,
I went to school with girls who were from like, the black girls I went to school with were from, like,
mhm,
Nigeria and they were African, most of them.
mhm.
And, it's funny, no black Americans at the time at my school. Um,
Yeah.
but, I mean, not that many Americans, period, at my school. Anyway, and we studied the civil rights movement, and in my head, I'm like, "Oh, Like, no one's racist anymore. And then I moved back to Georgia, and I heard somebody in my 7th grade class, in my mostly white 7th grade class, say the N word hard R. And I was like,
Uh,
what? What?
oh
I
boy.
was beyond shocked. And just the whole culture of like I said, I went to this international school. It was all girls. I had
Hmm.
it's run by nuns who were nice, like nice nuns,
Oh wow.
like Maria Sound of Music nuns. Like they literally they played guitar and taught us songs. Like they were so nice. There was one mean nun, and all the other nuns were like, "Oh yeah, watch out for her." Like, see, like they were like, "Oh yeah, she's got a problem."
Getting the lowdown on the
My
nuns.
sister Mila. Yeah, yeah. They're like, "Oh, don't." I remember we had a class with Sister Mila, and she made one of my friends cry, and then the nice sister Maria
Huh?
was like, they were Spanish too. She was like, "Oh, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. She knows nothing." They're so sweet,
Aw.
and we wore uniforms, and no one wore makeup or anything like that. And then I get put in the South 7th grade where girls were wearing like full makeup, hair.
Ugh.
I was just like, what? I was fish out of water. I
So
tell you.
wait, was this in the 80s?
Yeah,
So it was a lot of hair. It was very
lot,
high hair, a lot of oh man.
lot of
That
hair.
yeah, that was when we destroyed the ozone layer. I remember that. Man,
Yeah, if I
all that hairspray and whatnot. Yeah.
Aquanet, just more and more.
Ugh.
But yeah,
And that
so
was just the men. Hey, no, seriously.
hey, oh, yes, it was a crazy time. It was definitely a crazy time.
And then you stayed in Georgia through
I
high
stayed in
school?
Georgia. Actually, I'm working on a new bit about this. It's so funny you should ask. So I went to the University of Georgia, um,
Uh-huh.
and a big Southern school with a big Greek life. I joined a
Uh-huh.
sorority mainly because I so at the end of I was never that popular, but at the end of the senior year, this popular cheerleader girl heard I was going to the University of Georgia, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to be roommates?" And I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Yes, finally, I'm arriving."
Uh-huh.
I have a popular friend. And she was like, "We have to go through sorority rush." I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, "Okay,
Oh.
whatever you say." Like I didn't know. I was just like, "Whatever you say, boss." I'll just go.
Yeah.
And I went through, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna join." I joined this sorority, and um, it was eye opening because even though I grew up in Marietta, which was a suburb of Atlanta, and so it was
Mhm.
pretty. I mean, a lot of people were from the north that I grew up with,
Mhm.
and it's kind of a mixed bag of people. But my sorority had girls from these podunk towns, like in the middle,
Oh.
South Georgia. Like there was one town called Fitzgerald, but they all said Fitzgerald.
Of course.
Fitzgerald. And there was like one girl in my sorority who grew up with she was not allowed to watch black people on television.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was like, "What?
Ah.
What?" Like she'd never watched the
Ah.
Cosby Show, which I mean, okay, we didn't know back then.
Yes. Yes.
It was, and it was a great show. It was a great show. So,
It
I'm like,
was.
"You've never watched the Cosby Show?" And she was like, "No, no, no." And guess what? This girl ended up dating she was a little thing. She was maybe 5'2", little tiny thing, you
Mhm.
know, 90 pounds soaking wet. And she ended up dating, like, big black football players all through I
That's
mean,
not
she's
to make
very
my
full.
daddy mad, of course not.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm like, "You shoulda
Uh-huh.
let her watch The Cosby Show." Um,
Exactly.
but anyway, yeah, it was such a culture shock. It was such a culture shock, and my sorority was so somebody wrote this joke for me in a roast that I loved that, um Anne was in a sorority at the University of Georgia. She recently tried on her old Rush outfit, but nothing fit except the hood. I'm like, "That's a good joke." I'm like, "Can I
That
use
is a
it?"
good joke.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna use it." I'm like,
And of course, there's probably more room in the hood because you're using less Aquanet now.
yeah, exactly.
So your
It's
hair is
more
smaller.
90s. It was more like down, yeah. More
Yes,
sleek.
sure.
But anyway, but I really the whole time there, I knew I didn't I knew something was off for me.
Yeah.
Like, I just this whole culture, I didn't really get it. I thought they just fetishized like status so much,
Yeah.
and then there was then there was the blatant racism. So uh,
Oof.
that was going on too, and at the University of Georgia at that time, um, there was like white sorority rush and black sorority rush, and
Right.
they never met. They're very very segregated. And
Right.
now it's a little different. Now women of color are going through the what used to be called the white sorority girl rush. Although I
Yeah.
kind of wonder if it's a get out situation. I'm like, are you okay? Like, which way? 'Cause 'cause there's like 2 black
Are you
girls.
rushing under duress?
Yeah, like, are they making you do those little dances?
Ooh.
Um, but one year in 1987, a black woman came through, like, quote, unquote, "white sorority girl rush,"
Mhm.
and we had to vote on whether to invite her back to a we have to vote on on whether to invite any of the girls back to the parties,
Right.
and you talk about them, and one girl stood up and you knew she was about to say something really racist. And before
Mhm.
she even got it out, this woman in my sorority, Courtney, stood up and she said, "If her race comes into question about whether she's invited back or not, I will turn in my pin right now. I'm quitting this sorority."
Wow.
I know. I was like, slow clap for Courtney,
Yeah.
and we invited her back. But then she ended up dropping out, and that woman's name was Michelle Obama. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't be silly. Michelle was in Chicago. You're
I
thinking of Oprah Winfrey.
Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, that was what was like. It was crazy. I still can't believe like people ask me like, "You're like this progressive Brooklyn mom. How did that happen?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, you'll."
Well, I suppose wait, you were born in Georgia, is that right?
No, I was born actually in Schenectady, New York. My parents are
Oh, wow.
from my
So, from New York to
yeah,
Japan to Georgia.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Man, oh man. I suppose, well, I don't know, maybe you coulda hit, like, the Great Northwest or something so you get a little coffee in there, but other than that, geez, you hit all of the highlights.
Yeah, yeah, no, we kinda
Man.
went all over the place in very different cultures, so it was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy
and
time,
you ended up in Brooklyn. Well, good for
and I'm in
you, that's
Brooklyn
where you
doing
shoulda
comedy.
ended up.
Yeah, and now I'm just unpacking, I'm just starting to unpack all that. It just takes you a while, like, your jokes like, my jokes start off kind of surfacey, and now I'm starting to wanna really talk about myself and my specific experience,
Mhm.
but it took me a while, I think, I'm like 5, 6 years in. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's like therapy. You don't go into your therapist immediately. Well, let me put that different way. I didn't go into my therapist immediately and start digging deep. I was like, "So, does this look good on me?" You gotta test the waters first and
Yeah.
see if they'll hold you up, so to speak.
Yeah, I remember I started therapy because my boyfriend of 3 years dumped me, and I'm like, "I'm sad about my boyfriend." I'd never done therapy before, and somebody told me, "Go check out a couple different therapists. Don't go to the first
Mhm.
like, see, it's really important that you feel like you click with them." And I'm like, "Alright."
Right.
So, I went to this one I remember Judy Gold. Her name is Judy Gold, and, I told her
Not the comic.
not the comic, no, 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 she's a therapist,
Okay.
no relation.
Okay.
And she heard my sob story and she said, like, she kind of nailed it all at once. She goes, "You stayed with that guy too long. You let him get away. You totally like she just kind of nailed all my problems right away."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going back to her." Like, she terrified me. And then I went to this other therapist, Judy Green, who was just very, "Oh, that's sad. Oh, I'm sorry." Oh, and like
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Okay, I'm going back to Judy Green." And I basically, after 3 years, came to the conclusions that Judy Gold did in one session. I could have saved myself a
Yeah.
lot of money. But and then I had a friend who um she's Ukrainian and she's very like
Mhm.
and she said, "I need therapy, but I don't want to spend a lot of time like analyzing. I want to get the answers." And I'm like, "I have the therapist for you."
Ah.
And I sent her to Judy Gold, and she came back, she goes, "I love her."
Now, are you currently in therapy?
No, I can't afford it now. I
Ah, yeah, yeah, because I'm sure there's another Judy out there for you.
Mhm.
Another woman Named
I
Judy doing therapy, maybe on what is it called? BetterHelp or one of those ones where
maybe I'll find, I wish I'd become a therapist because I tell you that's the only job where you get older and you become more valuable. Because no one wants like
Ah,
you don't
yes.
want like a 20-year-old, 30-year-old therapist. You want someone who's you want someone who's lived. Like,
Yeah,
you want someone who's had a whole life that you feel like you're getting life experience as well as
yeah.
knowledge. So, yeah, I kind of regret that. I'm like, God, I'd be raking it in right now. I'd be beating him off with a stick.
I understand it. You could call yourself a life coach and you don't have to have any credentials.
You can, and I'm so against that. I hate life coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I'm still stuck on the Schenectady, Japan, Georgia, Brooklyn thing.
Yeah.
That's I mean, that's very cool. And I really that's the kind of thing everybody should do. I think people need to be taken out of their comfort zone. And of course I say this as someone who never wants to leave her comfort zone.
Yeah.
But as a kid, as a young person, you need to experience different things so that you see not everybody looks like you.
That's true.
Not everybody is like you, and we all have value. And I can't believe I just said that. Oh man.
No, but
Okay.
it's true. You're getting a little kumbaya, but that's nice. Nice way to, wrap it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think so too. I there was a point where I think I was interviewing for a job in London, and my kid was really young. He was maybe 2 or 3 years old, and I thought, oh, it'd be so cool to move there for a few years, only because I wanted him to be like, "Mummy, yeah, hey, mommy," and he could get a little English accent. How cute would that be? But I didn't get the job.
Oh well. It's not too late for him either. He could move to London and come
Oh,
back as
we went to
posh.
Japan this summer. We went to Japan this summer for, kind of our last family vacation before we went to college. It was a
Uh-huh.
bucket list trip for the whole family. We all always wanted to go. I wanted to go back. My husband and son wanted to go, and we
Mhm.
loved it. We absolutely loved it, and I told him, I'm like, "Please study abroad in Japan so I can come visit you,"
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Or somewhere, for heaven's sake, just somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but even Japan, I mean, Japan is very different, obviously, but it is
Mhm.
still a very big urban area. He could figure out the subways very easily because
Right.
lived here.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. So let's promote your show. It is called ADHD Comedy.
Yes.
It is going to be at the Pitt Theater
The Pitt Theater.
in Manhattan. And where do you promote your comedy shows?
On my Instagram, Astes Comedy.
Ah, Astez, Astez.
Yes, comedy. Mhm. Ace
Do
A
people call you Stez?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes
Oh,
I tried making that my stage name, but it just hasn't
yeah.
stuck. So, because it's easier to remember and say than Stesney.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my show it's 10 o'clock Friday night, September 19th. We have great lineup comics. We have Joelle Johnson. We have Vic Tran. Some really great people, and
Mhm.
it's going to be a fun show. Really fun.
Excellent. Excellent. And you are going to be, I assume you're performing elsewhere.
I actually, I'll be at the New York Comedy Club on 24th Street on
Mhm.
Monday night.
Mhm.
And I will be at, what's called the Buddha Room in a bar called Diamantes. But
Mhm.
it's a club, but it's
Mhm.
got a bar in the back, and, I will be there on Friday.
Okay. And this is all on your Instagram, which is tell me again?
A Stez Comedy.
Astez comedy
Yes.
on Instagram. Okay. And you're also on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook as well, and
Okay.
most of my
And
Instagram posts get put on Facebook as well, so.
okay. Do you do X?
I just I just started again in Threads, but I don't do
Mhm.
it that often.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I was on Twitter for a long time and then I just went, no, I don't think so.
same. I just kind of dabble on it once in a while to read a thing
Yeah.
here or there, but I can't go down
Yeah.
that mean hole anymore.
Right. Yeah. If I want to get lost in something, I'll watch animal videos, which I do actually.
That's what
I was up last night way too late watching Weimaraner videos.
Oh, that's really cute.
I love Weimaraners. I think they're wonderful dogs, and there's of course once you click on one, that's it. That's what the internet feeds you.
They know
And great, okay, I'll sit here for 40 minutes and watch nothing but Weimaraners when I should be, sleeping or something important.
well, it sounds like a way to end your day, so
It was very nice. It was very fun. You like to go to sleep laughing,
Yeah.
and dogs are funny. So you're doing what? You're going tomorrow to the Armory show in New York? What is the Armory show?
Yeah, yeah, it's the Armory Show is a big art show, they have every year. It's usually right before Fashion Week at the Javits Center. A lot of up and coming new artists and things like that. And my husband's he's does a little bit of everything, but he does illustration, and so and we just thought it'd be nice. I got discount tickets, and I'm like, let's just go have a little like lunch date. And that's
Nice.
evening.
Nice. Well, I hope the weather is good for you and you can take a walk around
Yeah.
the area and see Hudson Yards.
Yes,
Is that near that?
yeah, yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Yeah, supposedly there are good places to eat over there, and
Yeah.
there's that the edge, that thing up in the it's a tall building with a really weird sticky outy
Yes.
patio kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's I don't know how many stories up. And whenever I even see pictures of it, I get vertigo.
Me
So
too. I'm like, I don't think I could ever do that. I
yeah,
That is one thing I have lost. I used to be a lot more adventurous for things like that when I was younger, but now I just get too dizzy and I just can't do it.
yeah, that's just as well. It's probably full of teenagers.
Yeah, it's true.
And you just got rid of one. What do you need to spend your time with them?
I mean, the smell has just gotten out of the house. So, like, we will be very happy about that.
And we're going to end it right there. Thank you very much, Stes, for taking some time.
Thank you.
Check her out on Instagram at I forgot already.
A
Anne Stes.
Yeah, A Stes Comedy.
Okay, thank you. A Stes Comedy. I will link that to the podcast, and watch your local papers or something for the ADHD show.
Yeah.
And also, of course, check out the Funny Women of a Certain Age website so that you can find out about the tour that's going on and find out who's going to be at the Comedy Village shows, which is the residency that we have in New York City. And so we just end by everybody saying bye. Anne? Bye.
Bye.